As much bad talk as you get from me about the Old Testament, I personally have a favorite book there. You know, and a lot of us can say that.
I can say, you can say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been bad-mouthing a lot of it, but still like some of it.
Ecclesiastes, which was written, between 450 and 200 BCE, it's one of the Ketuvim writings of the Hebrew Bible and one of the wisdom books of the Christian Old Testament. I think it says a lot about the condition of our existence. C'est la vie in French, así es la vida in Spanish. They both mean such as life, or just that's life. And in today's words, we would just say shit happens. John W. Loftus, former minister and apologist, said in an article the following: "In a godless universe, shit happens without rhyme or reason. Life is predatory from the ground up. Creatures eat one another by trapping unsuspecting victims in unusual ways, launching surprise attacks out of the blue and hunting in packs by overpowering prey with brute force and numbers. Sometimes a creature just goes wacko for no reason at all. Humans are not exempt. Sometimes the wiring in our brain goes haywire and we snap. We too are violent, and we have inherited this trait from our animal predecessors. We also show care and concern to our kith and kin, but we can lash out in horrific ways at what we consider an uncaring world." The argument to follow by Dr. David Hevel, who is an associate professor and a Christian, actually agrees, saying that the statement from Loftus is operating under the misguided assumption that Christianity is a religion that teaches shit never happens. It says the Bible teaches us to enjoy life, God's bounty and the temporal happiness. It also promises, like a prescription medication, that side effects may include pain, despair, suffering, and lapses into grievous sin, weakness, apparent senselessness, persecution, misery, and physical death. Why atheists think that fallen man in a fallen world behaving exactly as the Bible tells us is somehow a problem for Christianity is unfathomable. Because, shit happens. The Hebrew word Hevel appears in the book of Ecclesiastes 38 times. The word basically translates to meaningless or utterly futile. But as if there's nothing you can do about it anyway. Right here, the Bible clearly tells us that Hevel happens. The book of Ecclesiastes is honest enough to point out that there's a glitch in the system. Contrary to some interpretations of Ecclesiastes, the author isn't saying that life is meaningless. He's saying it's just problematic. It's simply unsolid like a cloud. It's absurd. It's Hevel. Sooner or later it'll happen to you, the ones you love and even those you don't really care that much about. Hevel happens to everyone. Nobody wants it to happen to them, but it does. The universe has very little respect for your moral standing. Those bad results from your doctor, that bad driver that cut you off, and the tree falling across your house. None of these things happen because you're good or you're bad, and deep down we all know that. The Father does not cause our problems and misfortunes. Some are caused by bad luck, some are caused by bad people, and some are simply explained, Hevel happens. A consequence of merely being human, living in a world of unchangeable laws, natural laws, that came with creation. The painful things that happen to us are not punishments for our misbehavior, nor are they in any way part of some weird grand design by the Father. The Hevel that happens on this planet is not the Father's will. It's not how we live, but that we do live. Sometimes you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Hevel happens. We are not artificial intelligent robots. We are beings with free will, which is the power of acting without the constraint of necessity or fate. The ability to act at our own discretion. So don't take it personal. Don't feel hurt or betrayed when Hevel happens. Let me suggest that the bad things that happen to us in our lives do not have a meaning when they happen to us. Sometimes things happen because we're stupid. Yeah. Hevel just happens in the world we live in. Now back to the book of Ecclesiastes. It's a book of the wisdom gathered by a man known as Ketuvim. Hard-earned wisdom, life-learned stuff, earthly stuff. Ecclesiastes is all about wisdom found in the journey of a life, well lived on this earth. It's a real-life human reflection of a life rooted in hard work and suffering. And for much of the book, Colette reflects that the whole thing is meaningless. Meaningless, utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. And then he goes on, smoke nothing but smoke. There's nothing to anything. It's all smoke. That's what there is to show for a lifetime of work, a lifetime of working your fingers to the bone. Everything is Hevel. There is an earthiness to Colette's wisdom. It feels much more Eastern than Western. The whole idea that we're given a life in and of itself should be enough, and that alone should be sufficient. We are told we should enjoy the present moment, to be in the here and the now. So is there such a place as the wrong place at the wrong time? Let's assume that we are so well behaved that we commit very few sins of the type that would backfire on us. We are so likable that no one sins against us either. We are so lucky that we avoid accidents, natural hazards, and carelessness, and bad genes, and disease. Okay? So guess what? If we live long enough, we'll eventually suffer anyway. We'll get old and feeble. Colette said it. Although, I think we need to make some allowances, because he was really having a bad day at the time. Here are his words. Oh, how sweet the light of day, and how wonderful to live in the sunshine. Even if you live a long time, don't take a single day for granted. Take delight in each light-filled hour, remembering that there will also be many dark days, and that most of what comes your way is Hevel. I took another walk around the neighborhood, and I realized that on this earth, as it is, the race is not always to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor satisfaction to the wise, nor riches to the smart, nor grace to the learned. Sooner or later, bad luck hits us all. No one can predict misfortune. Like fish caught in a cruel net or birds in a trap, some men and women are caught by accidents, evil and sudden. Father provides his best, the sun to warm and the rain to nourish, to everyone, regardless, good and bad, nice and the nasty. Colette's wisdom is found in his observations of the natural world, his understanding and acceptance of life's frustrations and uncertainties, his realization that Hevel happens. And it's the truth.